Rehabbing the college baseball player's ulnar collateral ligament. We're going to show you guys what we're doing here with Logan, one of the guys we've worked with for a little while. A little partial tear of the UCL, nothing major. We think it's healed pretty well. He's had some PRP in there. We're going to show you some of the exercise we're doing, starting off with a nice tricep TRX movement here. Now you can do this off a barbell as well, but one of the nice things we like about this is it actually becomes more difficult as you flex your elbow, which is what occurs as you throw. So the elbow flexes and you have to be strong in that end range flexion. So he's controlling it through that range. It's also a little bit of core stability. And we'll move from here into some rotator cuff and forearm direct training. We got our multi-spinner here. This is actually a piece of wood, thick dowel, nice strap through the side. We wrap it through. It's a little home invention. They use this in some forearm sports like arm wrestling all the time. You can make your own with PVC pipe, but now getting a lunge stance for me here. We got him on the cable column, and he's gonna work on those finger flexors really hard. This one is absolutely one of the best forearm exercises you can do, and you can put yourself in positions that replicate what occurs when you throw and work on that long flexor of the forearm that stabilizes the inside of the elbow and the UCL. You can actually make your own little PVC pipe, pop a hole in it, put a rope through, put a carabiner on that, and then all you have to do is grip it and wrap it around and attach it to your band, and now you've got a good forearm training tool. And Logan can tell you how tough this is. Yeah. Very tough. So from right here, we'll take him into this cable column over here. You're gonna go right into that 90-90 curl, keeping that elbow up high. So we've got him here with the elbow up high. He's in a nice lunge stance, working the elbow flexors where they need to be strong for our throwing athletes. Common error we see is the elbow dropping as he curls. So we see him down here. We want to keep that elbow up nice and high. Can't do a UCL video without this pronator curl, that big pronator teres on the inside of the elbow. It stabilizes the elbow and the UCL. So as he curls, he's turning the fist down. We just got a belt around a kettlebell here. You can start to load it up, making sure that thumb really gets underneath, which is the same muscle that really stabilizes hard on the inside of the elbow as you throw. It's not all about the biceps, triceps, and rotator cuff. It's sometimes about these little forearm muscles. And we're gonna go into some of the stuff we're doing manually with them to work on that elbow as well. Now that we've kind of got a good exercise foundation, and this is a routine that you guys can run through at home and be very successful with over the course of time in getting your shoulder, elbow, wrist, arm, everything back in condition following a UCL injury. So it's a torrential downpour outside, but we're working on throwing biomechanics. One of the most important things following a UCL injury, let's see it from here. So we're gonna work on softening his layback. One of the things, it's kind of a minute or small little alteration that we're changing in his throw, but basically if you come up too high with your elbow, you end up slamming back a little bit too hard into layback or external rotation. So you see that Steven Strasberg, Mark Pryor of the past, lift the elbow high and then slam back really hard. So we're working on softening that by starting up high, and he's just getting into the throwing progression here. So go ahead and go from there. So we're retraining some throwing biomechanics at the same time we're starting to teach the tissues to tolerate more load. And we're also going to be working on a little bit of manual therapy just into the tissue a little bit after this. So we find that when athletes don't get their throwing mechanics to where they need to be after the injury, they go back to throwing the same way they did prior to the injury, and that's when they end up having a problem. So from here, let's have you start with the elbow tucked in. And so we're putting him in a position where he's less likely to end up in that abducted position. So he's going to start with the ball here, and he's taking it up into that same spot as he throws. Go. So this is day number 2, working on throwing since he's kind of shut down since his college season. Thus far, going very, very well. I would say this is the #1 neglected factor in all elbow rehabilitation for throwing athletes, is that you don't get athletes throwing in a different way. You send them back to the field in the same way they threw prior to their injury. They end up back in the physician's office, back on the MRI table or the operating room after the first injury, because they never corrected the mechanics that contributed to that in the beginning. So it's all about changing the way the athlete throws the baseball long term to change how the stress is applied to the implicated tissue, or to the elbow, in this case, the UCL, could be the shoulder, whatever it is. And we can add in a little bit of a shuffle step to make it more dynamic. So we put them in a lower elbow position and have them throw from there. Yeah, that's about the speed I want you at today, and then be under control as you come through the end. And from here, we'll get them on the table and start working into the medial elbow and start working into the tissues there that often become inflamed with any sort of medial collateral ligament injury. So we're getting our goop on there, our cocoa butter, as a little bit of a lubricant for the tool here. And we love some instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization techniques. So when you have a proximal sprain, it's a little bit more difficult because there's more mass over that proximal attachment of the UCL. So you're working through the common flexor tendon, you're working through all these tendons that come into the elbow. So getting down to that deeper UCL is a little bit difficult. So I'm giving them a pressure as I mobilize into it, but this is a nice adjunct to some of the exercises and load that we've applied on it through throwing to kind of calm things down, get it moving a little bit better, get blood flow into the area, and maybe facilitate a little bit of healing after. So if you guys like this video, you like some of the stuff we're doing here with Logan, check out some of our other UCL tear videos, subscribe to the channel, and we'll make sure to see you guys in the next video. Also, before you go, if you guys have any thoughts of things you'd like to see, let me know in the comment section. And just by liking this video, that lets me know you want to see some more of this content. And we will see you guys in the next video.